Hi guys, I wanted to make a video about a really inconsistent mechanic with attack move, which is the difference between attack range and what's called acquisition range. As mentioned by Riot Vesh in this thread about an attack move change that they might be bringing out soon, TM, it's the range at which the game considers a unit to be close enough to be targeted using attack move. Well, he's talking about the range at which you'll attack something that's moved into your acquisition range after you've pressed stop and not hold, but it's the same thing, and its interaction with attack move is where it will cause the most problems. Here I'm demonstrating Kalista's acquisition range. I accidentally recorded without my cursor, so I've marked with an X some but not all of the attack move inputs which make my champion move towards an enemy. Keep note of how far Kalista sometimes walks from the time the X goes down so that she can get in attack range. It behaves as expected and just moves me towards the point that I've attack moved if I'm a really long way away from any enemies, but once I'm within a certain range, I'll move towards Annie to attack. The problem arises from this acquisition range being much longer than Kalista's actual attack range. I'm not sure how far it is exactly, but it's at least a decent amount over 625, compared to her attack range of 550. As if it was 625 or under, Kalista would only move towards Annie if she was close enough for Annie to auto-attack her, and you can see here that that's not the case. It's not just Kalista who has this problem, though she's the champion on whom it's most noticeable because the player will usually be spamming attack move away from the enemy to make the most out of martial poise. Another champion that's really bad on is Lucian. My theory is that when they changed his attack range, they forgot to change his acquisition range at the same time, leaving it about 50 units longer than it should be. It looks here that it's maybe a little bit more than that though, so maybe it was about 25 units longer to begin with and that was added on to that 50. While I give my final thoughts, after which I'll just shut up and let the video play, I'm going to show you some more champions for comparison, some with acquisition ranges longer than their attack range and some where it's the same. This inconsistency is what I think Riot really needs to address. Personally, I think the most intuitive way for it to work would be for acquisition range to be exactly equal to attack range, so that when you attack move, you're telling your champion, move here unless something is in range to attack, and if so, then attack that thing. When we're playing Marksman, moving towards an enemy unintentionally for a split second can mean instant death, so our champion moving in the opposite direction of where we issue a command can be game deciding. At the very least, attack moves should be consistent. Whether it's a single teamo or a percentage of a given champion's attack range, if the acquisition range is going to be higher than that attack range, it should work the same way for all champions. It makes no sense for different 550 range champions to work differently with attack move to one another, and makes even less sense for Kalista with her 550 attack range to have a higher acquisition range than Caitlyn. Thanks for listening. I hope you'll help me bring this to Riot's attention so that we can get a fix sometime in the future. Keep watching for a couple more examples, but you've pretty much seen everything there is to see. It's just showing it with a couple more champs, so you can probably close the video now if you want.
Lots of belts. For no reason at all.
In the dark, all is laid bare.
30 seconds until minions spawn.